Hey, I'm Eric Triplett, the Pond Digger. Today we're going to show you how to upgrade a pond skimmer on an existing water feature. The pond that we're working on today is about 16 years old. It's an 11 by 16 ecosystem pond. And you know, the technology that was available to us 16 years ago for pond skimmers, it was great. It served us well over the years. But much as any other product, they evolve and get better and become more efficient in a smaller package. And that's what we're going to show you today. It's really important, I want you to know that we're going to dig this skimmer up. We're going to show you step by step how to do it. And we're going to take apart the old liner, remove the old skimmer, drop in the new skimmer, and then we're going to show you how to take your old liner and make a watertight seal back on the new skimmer. Before I get started, I want to bring you in close and I want to show you some of the flaws that we had in this skimmer over the years that we're going to solve with a new pond skimmer we're going to be installing today. So what I want you to notice here is, first we're dealing with a cedar deodora tree. It's a conifer, and these are, let's say, pine needles. And the needles are pretty tough on this particular skimmer. And if you'll notice, this is a flopsy kind of net. And if you look closely here, you can see that the autofill is dripping in this pond. So the autofill thinks it needs water, but what's happening is the weight of these pine needles is pressing around on this net, and it's influencing this autofill. So if I could take the weight away and take that off, then the autofill stops moving. So the new skimmer won't be influenced by a net to turn the autofill on. Another tricky thing is this particular net, let me pull this back. This right here is the faceplate that pops in. And if you'll notice, this piece is supposed to connect on the bottom side of it and hold in place. But when you get too much weight in the net, a lot of times the net will lose itself on the bottom, and then these needles will work their way around, and that's why you're seeing the needles on the outside of the net. So that's a problem that we're going to solve, because you see it just kind of, this is like aluminum or something. No, I don't think it's aluminum. It would have been rusty by now, but it's very easy to manipulate and move. So one thing here is the plumbing for the pump comes out over the top of the skimmer, which means it comes through a pad that's sitting down here. And so the hole comes through the pad, and any of these needles, they start to become waterlogged. They sink down and they work their way through the hole where this is coming through, and then this stuff's going to get down to the pump and make it hard to clean as well. If you'll notice in the front of the skimmer, there's some water hyacinth that got trapped on a rock. You know, you try and disguise the front of this, and if you get any tall debris like this water hyacinth, it's going to block the front opening of that. And so you see it starting to work again. And this can be a problem for many reasons. It can influence the skimmer to think if it blocks it too much, then the skimmer starts to drop and to lose the water in the skimmer. It could damage the pump, and it also influences the autofill to kick on again. So a lot of little things. As I said, the technology was real good to us over the years, but we're going to install a new skimmer that's going to solve a lot of these problems. I want to show you the pump we're going to use before I throw it in the water. It's a cool little sump pump, and it's connected to a garden hose. It has a garden hose adapter right here. And I'll throw it in the pond, and as it's draining down, I'll just have the garden hose running to different parts of the garden, and we'll water everything as we're doing our maintenance. So Taylor, let's get this thing started with, we'll move this bank of rocks here. Let's reserve them right there. I'll move this cobble, and then we'll just start digging. We're gonna put all the dirt back here over here, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we wanna expose the area that we're working with. As you'll see, I have an autofill here line, and then I can see my line where the plumbing's coming in. So we need to dig carefully around here. We're probably going to use all this dirt that we've already are pulling out, so we're going to reserve it in a pile close by. I don't want to throw it in a wheelbarrow and haul it away to a planter somewhere. So that's the first step we're going to do, and just keep all this rock and cobble over here. So the pond's already turned off. I'm going to loosen this plumbing and remove the pump. You can get rid of that. We get this gross skimmer pad out of here. The new skimmer pad we're going to use is a little stronger than this. You see how wonky and kind of unreliable this skimmer pad is. The new skimmer pad will be a whole lot stronger than this. And as I pull this motor out, I want you to notice that all the debris that gets by the skimmer, you see all the cedar needles down in here? So this is going to have to be serviced before we put it back in there. But that's a good example of things getting past the skimmer and into the pump. So Taylor, let's expose this, and we're going to cut that loose, and then we're going to dismantle this automatic fill valve as well. Expose that. We want to cut this. We want to reserve as much pipe as possible, but we need to get this out of here. I have a little extra pipe so we can extend that if necessary. And then I'm going to disable this automatic fill. So that's all connected here. We do have a little section of overflow that we're going to have to cut out as well. So this is an overflow, so I'm going to cut that free. Here we go. Okay, so now everything's cut free. I can just dig it out. The pond's getting about low enough I can move some of these rocks and then I can start digging out all the way around it. So that'll be the next piece.